When man discovered the secret of atomic energy, he crossed the threshold of a new era. But so uncertain is he of the future use of this power that in most countries where nuclear research is carried on, it is state-controlled, protected, and guarded by security police. Not only does atomic energy present a major problem of control to the United Nations, but the life-killing rays demonstrated at Hiroshima are ever present in the day-to-day work of the atomic scientist. Despite this, many world of plenty if man can tap the colossal store of energy that resides in even the tiniest fragments of matter. In many regions of the present-day world, a new industrial revolution would loom if atomic energy were harnessed. Vast social and economic benefits would become possible for millions. Even highly industrialized countries would find their best fuels obsolete, for a power supply 2 million times more effective than coal lies within the atoms of uranium-235. An atom is the smallest piece of any chemical element. It resembles a minute solar system with a central sun called the nucleus, surrounded by whirling planets called electrons. No one has ever seen an atom, nor ever will, because it is so small. For instance, a speck of uranium the size of the dot over an I would contain more than 2 million trillion atoms, as far apart from each other as the star sky. The heart of the atom is the nucleus, 20,000 times smaller than the atom itself. Yet holding the nucleus together are the mightiest forces known to man. When this force is released, we get atomic energy. This is done by splitting the nucleus with a tiny bullet called a neutron. When the neutron strikes the nucleus explodes, giving off dangerous radiations and heat. In a mass of pure uranium-235, one explosion causes another, a chain reaction which may release the heat from countless exploding atoms. Canada, chief source of uranium, is a key nation in atomic affairs. At Great Bear Lake in the Canadian Arctic, the ore is mined and shipped out to the refinery. A quantity of the pure metal ultimately goes to the Atomic Research Center at Chalk River, Ontario. In the pile building, the atomic explosion is slowed down for a gradual release of energy. Basic research is the main purpose of this plant. Here, British and Canadian scientists work hand in hand. Heading the project is Dr. Keyes of Montreal, Dr. Lewis in charge of research, and Engineering Chief K.F. Tupper are two of his right-hand men. In the labs, a protective wall of 4-inch lead blocks stands between the apparatus and the men who work with the deadly radioactive matter. Working with small amounts of radioactive materials lessens the danger from radiation. This technique is followed at Chalk River. It is called microchemistry and demands a completely new set of apparatus on a scale even smaller than that of a doll's house. All chemical and physical experiments demand weighing and measuring, a delicate operation when you're dealing with a few millionths of a gram at a time. The movement of the sensitive torsion balance is so slight that a microscope is used to observe its reaction. The balance arm itself is pure quartz, spun into a thread of spider web thickness. Because of the unusual hazards involved in atomic research, health men constantly check the safety of working areas. Everyone in the operational buildings wears a small piece of film which is sensitive to radiations. Each week, the films are developed and checked for exposure by a density meter. A film that is too dark spells danger for its owner. Even fingerprint patterns may be changed by an overdose of radiation. Periodic wax impressions must be taken. Before atomic energy is practical, many complicated engineering problems must be solved. But already, a byproduct of the production of atomic energy has supplied science with an important research tool, the radioactive isotope. Any ordinary chemical element put into the atomic pile is transformed by the intense radiations. It becomes a radioactive isotope, which in turn gives off radiations of its own. Scientists have found many uses for isotopes because the radiations or signals they give off enable the scientists to trace their movements through any machine, chemical process, or living organism. The radioisotopes come from the pile to the chemistry building in heavily shielded containers. The amount of material in these flasks is not more than a few grams. The most important isotopes are radioactive phosphorus, carbon, iodine, and sodium. Some of the isotopes go directly from the pile to research centers. Others must first be chemically refined in the Chalk River laboratories. Many thousands of years. Others last only a few days and must be rushed by air to wherever they are wanted. In the past, cancer has been treated by radium. The new isotopes promise to be cheaper and more effective. In some hospitals, they are being experimentally applied in cancer treatments. Much study and research are in progress in this field, but medical authorities are not inclined to make sweeping claims about cures. Isotopes are not released to research centers or hospitals until it is certain the users are completely qualified to handle them. In cancer treatments, the patient drinks a solution containing the isotope. Where there is a cancer of the throat, additional growths of cancer often appear in other parts of the body, especially the limbs. The isotope goes through the system and appears to collect where it encounters a cancer outbreak. Using an instrument that picks up the signals from the isotope, the doctor can tell where the isotope is concentrated, thus locating the cancer. Each impulse of radiation is amplified as a clicking sound. With the aid of a timing clock, the operator counts the number of radiations per second. The faster the clicks, the greater the concentration of the isotope. The radiations from the isotopes do two things. They help locate the cancer and kill its cells at the same time. Although the first fruits of the atomic age are going to biology and medicine, atomic scientists are seeking the answers to other problems that lie ahead. Can atomic energy be harnessed to develop backward areas, to increase the yield of agriculture, to drive trains and ships, to heat and light whole cities? The answer to most of these questions is only a matter of time. In a few short years, man has unlocked many of nature's secrets. If his wisdom can keep pace with the advance of knowledge, he may yet inherit the bright world that science can build.